And I'm just thinking, what? But I wish I'd known that. Even though I'm eating fat-free things, I'm actually putting on fat, which is just like, I don't know. But I wish I'd known that not everything that says fat-free is healthy. Hello, hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sandy and welcome back to Sandy Shares. Today I'm going to share with you 10 things that I wish I knew about weight loss. These are things that I wish I could tell my younger self. If I had known these things, let's say 10 years ago, I think losing weight would have been easier and, dare I say it, less stress. Hopefully through me sharing these things, you can also avoid some of these mistakes and maybe they may be able to help you on your weight loss journey or your journey to health. The first one I wish I could tell my younger self is calories do matter. That is something I never ever was really aware of. When we eat food, our body converts it into energy and then uses that energy for whatever it needs. And so the more food you eat, in essence, the more calories you eat. And so what I used to do was I used to exercise a lot and overcompensate and think, well, because I exercise, I can eat more. But I actually never knew that calories do matter. So whether you are on the keto diet, whether you are on, the low carb diet, whether you're just doing whatever diet you're doing, calories do matter. And if you take in more energy than your body uses, then you are more likely to store that energy as fat, because it's easier for the body to store energy in the form of fat. When we take in energy from food, it uses what it needs and then the rest it stores as fat. I wish I'd known that calories do matter and that, it is worth calorie counting in the beginning just to figure out how much your body actually needs. There are also calorie calculators you can use. Basically, you want to find out how many calories your body needs. So if you take in less calories than your body uses, then you are more likely to lose weight. Your body is complex, so it's not just a question of eat less and then you will lose weight, because there's other things that play a part, such as genetics, hormones, how much kind of activity you do each day. So there's other things that play a part, but I never really used to pay attention to calories, and ultimately calories do matter. If your body takes in less than it uses, then you're gonna lose weight. I wish someone had told me to appreciate the body that you have. We all have different body types. Some of us are a little bit more curvy than others. Some of us are slimmer, but I just wish I could tell my younger self to appreciate the body, whether she's bigger or smaller. I remember 10 years ago, I was a lot smaller than I am now. And I used to think that I was bigger. Like, I never really used to appreciate my body back then. I wish I could go back and tell my younger self that actually, no, you're not big and that I should appreciate myself. Now that I am bigger, I know that I wasn't that big, and I think sometimes a lot of our issues come from our mindset. Sometimes we can't really see ourselves the way we are, and I'm not talking about in a body dysmorphia kind of way. I'm just saying that we should just learn to love ourselves and appreciate the body that we are in, even if it's not where you want to be. The next one, I wish I had known this. If I had known this years ago, I think it would have saved me years and years of yo-yo dieting. And that is that portion control matters. Okay. Having grown up in an African household where there was no such thing as portion control, your mum basically cooked, and when you were hungry you'd go and eat, and if you wanted seconds and thirds and fourths you would just go and eat some more, and you would put it on big plates. I did not know the concept of portion control, so growing up, I just didn't know what was a healthy kind of portion of anything. So that's something that I wish I could go back and tell my younger self, that yes, calories matter, but if you don't want to do the whole calorie counting, then portion control. You know, in the beginning you may need to buy a scale and measure your food out, or use measuring cups. I honestly feel like that would have saved me so much kind of unnecessary pain that I went through trying all these different fad diets, trying this and trying that. I just wish I'd known like what calories matter and portion control matters as well, because ultimately if you eat smaller portions, you eat less, taking in less calories, and then your body is then more likely to lose weight. It's kind of mass. The next thing I wish I had known, I think would have just helped me when it came to self-acceptance, and that is that we all are different, and that what works for me may not work for other people, and what works for other people may not work for me. I am different. I have a different body type. I have different genetics. I have different hormones. I used to be an infomercial junkie. I used to kind of try all these different diets out, these 90-day programs, Insanity, etc., etc. And I would just try anything without actually knowing what was good for me or what kind of worked for me. And obviously, to find out what works for you, you do need to try different things. But I was just trying kind of the box standard, one fits all kind of meal plans that you get on the internet, or somebody else is kind of eating. So I think, okay, well, that person's eating this, they've lost weight, so I'm gonna try it. And I never really knew that actually you need to find what works for you, because you are different. And so through trial and error, I found out that my body works better when I eat less carbs and when I eat more healthy fats. That's kind of what works for me. And when it comes to exercise, for me, what works for me is doing HIIT workouts or high intensity interval training. I wish I could just go back and tell my younger self to not kind of follow what everybody else is doing just to follow it for the sake of following it. I also wish I could tell my younger self that some people have faster metabolisms, some people like me have slower metabolisms, and that if one person can eat as much as they want, and if they have a fast metabolism, they probably won't gain weight. And then someone like me, if I try and eat the same quantities as that other person, I will probably gain weight. So I just wish I could tell her just to do things that work for her and not just follow a kind of one fits all kind of thing. It's not like a dress size. It's not like, you know, them clothings, those dresses that you get, like it says one size, and even they don't work. Those dresses that say one size, they just don't work. This one size fits all doesn't work, and you have to find what works for you. The next one is a life changer. The next one, when I actually learned about this, I was like, oh, now I understand why my body does what it does. And the next one is that hormones play a part in weight loss. There's two main hormones that I found out about, and that is ghrelin and insulin. So ghrelin is kind of the hormone that gives you the signal that you're hungry, and insulin is the hormones that released when you eat loads of carbs and sugar, and is released in the body so that it can bring that sugar level down. I discovered that when those hormones are out of whack, it's just going to be harder for you to lose weight. If your ghrelin hormones are off, you won't be able to tell whether you are hungry because you're really, really hungry, or you're just hungry for boredom or for the sake of eating. And then the opposite as well, you may end up becoming insulin resistant, which just means that every time you eat sugary foods or carbs, your body will release insulin, but because the insulin in effect is not working because you become resistant to it, the body's not getting the right signals to regulate that sugar level. So I just think hormones do play a part, and when your hormones are all kind of out of whack, it can really mess you up. If you think that you have kind of issues to do with your hormones, to go and see someone, go and see a professional. I wish I could tell her to go and see a professional or someone that could help her with kind of just finding out if she is insulin resistant. And if I had known that, then there are, different ways you can eat to kind of help you regulate that. I wish that is something that I knew, that hormones do play a part in your weight loss. The next one actually was kind of surprise to me as well, and that is that your body will react differently to different foods. For example, I didn't know that protein actually makes you feel fuller because it takes longer for the body to digest protein, and it uses more energy in digesting protein, so you end up feeling fuller. Whereas something like sugary food, like sweets, you can eat it and then you're hungry again in like a few hours or whatever. I wish I knew that your body reacts differently to different foods. So like I said, protein makes you feel fuller, carbs gives you energy, and that your body also needs good fats as well. I grew up in the 90s where everything was like fat-free yogurt, fat-free, biscuits, fat-free cereal. Everything was fat-free because fat was so feared. And I wish I could go back and let myself know that you don't have to be fearful of fat, and that you just need to know how your body reacts to that particular food. I know that I do better when I eat healthier fats like avocado, peanut butter, whole eggs. I feel fuller and better when I'm eating also low carb because my body doesn't react that well to carbs. So all these different things, I wish I had known about it, and I wish I'd gone and did more research and to find out how my body reacts to different foods. So that one, when I found that out, I was like, the next one I kind of touched upon before, and that is that not everything that says fat-free is healthy. Like I said, I grew up in the 90s where it was like fat was like the demon, and everyone was like, no to fat, forget fat. So I thought when anything that says fat-free, you would automatically think that it's healthier for you. When if you turned around and looked at the labels, you will see it will just have loads and loads of sugar, which again, then your body reacts differently to sugar than it will react to protein. Your body uses what it needs, but then the rest, it quickly turns it into fat. And I'm just thinking, what? But this says fat-free. Isn't it supposed to be fat-free? Yeah, but when companies take out the fat in products, in food, they take out the flavor because fat, helps things taste kind of nice. And so they have to put back something in order to make it palatable. Otherwise, you just won't eat it. And so they put back sugar. So it kind of defeats the purpose of calling something fat-free. And sometimes I had this kind of misconception that if something was fat-free, it meant I could eat as much of it. Not eat as much of it, but just eat more of it. And I didn't know that most things that are fat-free have loads of sugar. So when I'm eating more of it, I'm just eating more sugar, which my body, because my body doesn't react well to sugar, it just stores it as fat. And therefore, even though I'm eating fat-free things, I'm actually putting on fat, which is just like, I don't know. But I wish I'd known that not everything that says fat-free is healthy for you or for me. The next one is actually something that once I learned, I started to understand why. And that is that not to fear healthy fats. Like I said, avocados, olive oil, fatty fish. Fat got such a bad name when I was growing up that kind of made me misunderstand and group all things fat into kind of one category and not know that healthy fats are good for you. Your body needs it. It's kind of the bad fat, the unhealthy fat that your body doesn't need. And so I grew up fearing fat. Anything that was fat, I just feared it. Avocado, didn't eat it. Olive oil, didn't have it. fatty fish, didn't eat it, because it's like, well, it's fat. Like with anything, moderation is the key. So I just wish I could go back and tell myself, don't be scared of healthy fats, eat it in moderation, and just, you know, start enjoying food. I group food into good and bad, and that's just not the way to go. That's just not how you should label things good and bad. So I wish I could go back and let myself know, listen, healthy fats are good for you. The thing I wish I could tell my younger self is that food won't fill that void, and I wish I could tell myself not to use food to help cope with emotions. I am an emotional eater, but I've started to learn through journaling, through self-reflection, through kind of just experience that food can't fill that void, and food can't help you cope with whatever emotion it is that you are trying to cope with. It's okay to have balance, you know, it's okay to eat the slice of pizza, it's okay to eat ice cream, but don't use that food when you are sad to make yourself feel happier, or when you've had a stressful day to make yourself feel less stressed, because food ultimately you think is comforting you, but after you eat the food you end up just feeling worse than you did before, because then you feel guilty. Oh my god, I'm supposed to be on a diet and I've just eaten this food. So I wish I could just tell myself, don't use food for comfort. Food is there to be enjoyed. Have balance, enjoy the food. Just don't use it as a way to deal with situations that are happening in your life. You need to kind of deal with them head on. Food in the short term, in that moment, may give you comfort. In the long term, you can't use food to deal with your emotions. The next thing I wish I could tell myself is to take care of myself. There's nothing wrong with putting yourself as number one. You know, take time to get your nails done. Take time to get your hair done. Take time to go for a walk. Take time to exercise. Why? You might be thinking, what's all this got to do with weight loss? When you feel good about yourself, you're more likely to follow that through with other things in your life, including if you're on a weight loss journey. We are emotional people, and so when you're in a happier state, you are more likely to do something that's not going to be detrimental to you. So I just wish I could tell myself, take care of number one first, and that's not in a selfish way or anything like that. Just take care of yourself. When you are more happier, then that is going to trickle down to the weight loss side of it. But if you are unhappy, you'll think, oh, what's the point of trying? I started this diet so many times. Monday is the cliche, let me start a new diet thing. I'm so tired of this. But when you start taking care of yourself and you feel better, once you feel better, you're more likely to take better action. I just think it's kind of a domino effect. The happier you feel, the better you feel, the better you're going to look after yourself, and the better you're going to be on this kind of weight loss journey. I honestly think it all starts with you. If you can do this for yourself and know that you're doing something for you, something that is good for you, I just think it helps you sustain it and stay in the long run on this kind of weight loss journey, because this journey is a journey of a lifetime. So those were the things I wish I knew about weight loss. If you found the video helpful, then let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.